everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Thanks so much for clicking play and spending some time with us. I'm really looking forward to today's show. We're going to be talking with Jeff Yamazaki. He's an actor, model, and a men's fashion content creator. He's also freshly back from Japan, finally over jet lag. Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah, I came back about a week and a half ago, but man, it took a long time. The jet lag in Japan is okay. It's really easy to get it over because you're out and about pretty much every single day. But when you come back here, it is rough. It's so bad. But finally, it's been about a week and a half, so I'm finally over it.
Yeah, something about that. I think going west is easier than going east, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a weird thing because when I'm in Japan, it's so easy. Like you just wake up really early, like 4 or 5 in the morning, but you get a longer day traveling, so it's just pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, welcome home and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me on your podcast. And it's actually my first podcast, so I'm kind of nervous, but super excited to be on this podcast.
No reason to be nervous, man. It's just two guys talking in our pajamas.
That's true.
Hey, do you mind giving us a little elevator pitch for what you do?
Yeah, of course. So I am a men's fashion content creator, a model, an actor, and in my past life, I was a accountant / CPA, which we could talk about later. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
But yeah, so you made the switch. Can we dig into your roots a little bit? I saw your content online. You were staying with your grandparents in Japan. Mm-hmm. So your parents came over, or were they born here?
So my parents actually immigrated to Los Angeles, maybe in the 80s, I think at the height of the bubble in Japan.
Okay.
And so I remember my dad telling me, he's here. He came with probably mostly no money. And then he would be on his phone with his friends at the height of the bubble where they're making a ton of money. And he's over here just hustling to start his own business and struggling. And so they immigrated here. I think he was 26, so a couple years younger than me.
Yeah.
He came to Los Angeles, and then I was born and raised in Los Angeles. My mom's also Japanese, so 2 Japanese immigrant parents. And growing up, I was forced to go to Japanese school on Saturdays, like a lot of other Asian kids in SoCal. And so I hated every waking moment of Japanese school, but it's just
it's paying off now, right?
Paying off huge right now. I was there just for my friends,
right?
Just to talk Japanese with my friends, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and it did pay off, as you said, later down the road.
Yeah, no, I've heard you speak. You're pretty good. Do you feel like you're pretty good, or are you kind of more? Do you feel like you're still in the 8th grade?
Man, it's hard to say. I could pull off being sort of native, but not at the same time. See, if I go to Japan, they would catch me right away. I'll be like, "Oh, you're probably Japanese American." I think it's the vocab that's the hardest for me. It's I don't have a lot of vocabulary in Japanese, so just the pronunciation of my Japanese is I hope it's pretty good. I think it's fairly fluent or native. I hope, but it's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
おはようございます。今年また日本に帰るつもりなので、東京をブラブラしたい時にこのコーデを着たいなと思っています。じゃあ着替えていきましょう。最初にローズボールフリーマーケットで買った大きめなパンツです。次は Uprisers っていうブランドの。
Alright, so you're growing up in LA, and were you were you a fashionable kid like in middle school? Were you rocking the skinny jeans? Or what
no. Oh man, I love this question because, man, back in high school, I remember I was a really, really skinny kid, very underweight, skinny kid, and sort of lanky. And so none of the shirts I ever bought would ever fit me. And so I would wear double shirts, 2 shirts, because to fill up the shirt. And I always self-conscious about what I look like, or I was always trying to fit in.
Yeah.
In high school, middle school, high school. And so, looking fashionable was the last thing on my mind. I was probably wearing the same thing as every other guy, in high school.
Just trying not to stand out. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
So where did this come from? So you were, you go to college studying accounting, or what were you studying in college? Economics?
So I went to school in UCSB, And I actually got into UCSB as an accounting major. But their accounting major, you're not automatically in. You have to take some prerequisites and then you have to have a certain GPA to get into it at UCSB. And I didn't make the cutoff, which is very unfortunate. But I think in the long run, it was for the better of me.
Yeah.
And so in sophomore year, I had to switch to global studies, which is international studies for other colleges. And so I was able to sort of cruise through college. It wasn't a very hard major, you know. And so I was able to go to Japan for the, what do you call it? Study abroad.
Yeah.
And I was able to do that and kind of experience my culture outside of the US by myself. I always go to Japan with my family, but this is my first time going to Japan by myself, and it was so fun.
Yeah.
And that's where I rekindled my love for the Japanese language and my culture, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was able to graduate with a global studies major, and yeah, I always love accounting. I love money. I love, it's like very Asian thing, but yeah, spreadsheet. I love spreadsheets. I love Excel.
Yeah.
In my first job, I did a lot of data stuff, and that's where I learned a lot of my Excel skills. But like, I fell in love with it, and yeah, I sometimes wish, like when I was younger, that I was able to do the accounting major, but in the end, it worked out.
Yeah. And then when you were in Japan, did you go to the stores and you're like, hey, they got skinny long jeans here. they got clothes that fits me.
Yeah. All the clothes fit way better in Japan. I was like, whoa, it's like, yeah, the European and the Asian clothing fit so much better on my body style. And yeah, back in high school, probably 2010, when I went to H&M here, it's like everything was slightly too big in the shoulders, slightly too big in the chest. But when I went to Japan, a lot of the stuff fit extremely well.
Off the rack.
Off the rack. Yeah. Which is important.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Do you think, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the Korean wave or of course. Do you think that aesthetic has helped you, because around the same time that you're kind of getting into it, BTS is blowing up, K-dramas are blowing up, and people are like, hey, skinny Asian dudes with good hair.
Oh, definitely. And that's like, I'm super thankful for, all the, Korean, K-pop, K-dramas, Japanese J-pop.
Yeah.
All them exporting their media out to the, the US, because it's so influential these days. And definitely more brands are starting to take account of that, and they're trying to add more, the Asian guy or the Asian girl. Yeah, they have to
be competitive
into their marketing campaigns now. And so I think it was just great timing, and it just worked out. But just super thankful that it just happened. And I think it was around the same time with Crazy Rich Asians too.
Sure. Yeah.
And that was the first time where I realized, like, whoa, it's like there's people on the screen like me.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of Asians say the same thing, but just me personally, I just was kind of shocked in a way. And it's like, I never thought about it growing up, watching all these movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, it's just...
But there was nothing.
There's nothing, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really think twice about it until I saw that whole cast was Asian.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this makes a huge difference. And
yeah, it was like seeing a unicorn or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was definitely part of it. And then like we just talked about the Asian dramas coming over. But yeah, it's part of the culture now, right? Where people are realizing, hey, it's not just a niche market. There are, like, I'm on I follow a bunch of different K-drama podcasts and whatnot, and they're all different people. There's Latinas, there's African Americans, there's Caucasian people, French, European, all these people are following K-dramas as a global phenomenon.
Yes,
and so it's just neat to see, when it's probably the algorithm, but when I flip open Hulu or Netflix, a lot of the suggestions are...
Yeah, Netflix is crazy. They're really pushing
they're huge players, yeah.
Yes.
So very cool to see. So you got start doing, what are you doing mostly? Print ads or digital ads? What are you doing mostly when you got started?
For modeling, it was mostly digital for like social media and more commercial stuff. What do you call it? I guess like email stuff. Like the stuff I saw usually for emails or social media, and more mainly on that side. I think I was too old to do a lot of the print stuff. And so it was maybe like e-commerce. I think we call it e-commerce.
Yeah.
Or it's just the e-commerce stuff that I did starting out.
It's mostly American stuff, or are you doing overseas stuff too?
Oh yeah, mostly American stuff.
Okay.
And then I did one print commercial. It was commercial / print. It was also video, but it was for a big vaping company in Japan, and it's called IQOS. And I didn't really like the part that I was like contributing to smoking and vaping, but it was definitely my first time on set for like a big commercial shoot, and I kind of wanted the experience, so I did take it. But that kind of made me fall in love with the filming side too, like the acting side, and I was able to kind of do a little bit of that at that commercial shoot, and that's kind of how I also started with the acting stuff later. About a year or two later.
Okay, yeah, fun. What did your parents think when you said, "Hey, by the way, I've scrapped the CPA stuff and I'm going into content creation and modeling"?
So actually, they didn't say much, but I think in the beginning when I signed with my modeling agency, they knew I was still going back to school for accounting, and I had always had that backup, and so I was doing both at the same time, so they weren't very worried with what I was going to do with my life. And so I always knew that I didn't want them to worry, or my, family members to worry. And so I was always doing two things at once and really I was really risk averse when it comes to work. And so I was doing all sorts of things all at once, kind of grinding pretty much 24/7. I was doing the part-time job, going back to school. I was doing the content, I was modeling, and I was doing all these things to hedge all my bets all at once, because I knew I really wanted to do the modeling and acting and content creating full time. And so I was really busting my ass off every single day. And when it did come to a point where I wanted to choose between modeling, acting, content creating, and the accounting thing, my thing was, if I passed the CPA exam, that was my ticket to go full-time modeling, acting.
Because you had that in your pocket.
Yes. And I finally finished last year around October 2022 and finally got my CPA, and then got my bonus from my firm. And then a couple weeks later, I put in my 2 weeks. Be like, I got my ticket, and I'm done with the cubicle life.
That's cool, though. It sounds like they were supportive and they were, with you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. So now let's talk about the content a little bit. I feel like you're a little bit of a unicorn, meaning that if I want to find an Asian American woman doing fashion, I don't have to scroll very far. I can find a couple thousand Asian women doing it, but I haven't seen. I don't know. Maybe I'm not in the right algorithm, but I haven't seen a lot of Asian men doing fashion content creation. Do you feel like you're on an island a little bit, or do you know others, or what's going on with that scene?
Yeah, so I do know a couple, but it's not as big as the Asian woman fashion content creator. And I've only found out about the Asian men fashion content creator until I got into it.
Because you're doing it.
Because I'm doing it, right. And maybe it is only a handful. It's very niche. I think from the people I connect, probably 10 people that are actually doing it full time as a job. And compared to, the hundreds of the
thousands
on the female sound, thousands maybe. And so maybe that part of that was a kind of opportunity that I saw that I was able to kind of tap in. But the Asian men's fashion content creator is definitely a great niche, and it's kind of a way for me to kind of help my younger self back in my high school. I wish I was, I was able to dress better when I was younger, and so hopefully I could kind of show that you can dress better very simply and not with a lot of money. So
Yeah, let's talk about your style a little bit. I mean, it's very it's tutorial almost, right? When you do you do your reels, let me click on it real quick.
Okay.
So everyone out there, go to Jeff Yamazaki with a Z, and you can find his content. He's got a lot of blogging here. He got a little Japan travel stuff.
Yep.
Took a little detour to Japan, but you can see he's got just the simple titles: Soft Boy Aesthetic. We've got Patagonia Outfit. Like, I like the way you're like, hey guys, I know you all have the same jacket and you're wearing it every day. Can we upgrade this a little bit? And you give us some tips, like stuff like that. And you go from head to toe. You go even, with an accessory every so often, but you'll go 4 layers deep on it, all the way down to shoes.
Socks.
Yeah, socks and shoes. And then a little bit of partnering with some different creators and brands. But yeah, I love it. I mean, and like you said, it's not haute couture, like it's not, each outfit, what would you say, under $200?
Yeah, under $200. A lot of the stuff is from like Uniqlo, Zara, H&M.
You'll throw in sometimes some upper brands a little bit, but it's not like
just
head
to
to
sprinkle
toe.
that stuff in,
Yeah. And it all looks comfortable, right? It looks like you're going to go somewhere. You're not going to the opera,
right.
You're going to work, you're going to school, and it looks like you got...
Yeah, everyday wear.
Definitely everyday wear. Yeah. It was that just kind of when you were... Did you map it down on a whiteboard and said to yourself, okay, what do I want to be? What do I want to do? Or is this just how you dress every day?
Pretty much how I dress every day. It's what I had in my closet. I didn't have a ton of money when I started, to buy my clothes specifically. And so I just started with what I had in my closet. And honestly, what I had in my closet was pretty bare bones. I had probably 2 or 3 pairs of jeans, a couple shirts, a couple of those like pocket tees that I used to wear in college, and then that Patagonia jacket, and maybe a couple jackets or hoodies. And I just slowly try to mix and match as best as I can when I started with those items. And slowly, because it was a job, I needed to buy more. I had to get in the habit of buying, which was very hard for me. I was like, I would budget it out. My accounting side would come in and be like, okay, I have this much money to budget for clothes.
The spreadsheet was telling you.
And a little by little, I would buy different things that I wouldn't be comfortable with in the beginning. And then slowly built out my closet. And obviously I only had so much, and so I couldn't buy those outlandish items, because this is what my literal wardrobe is, my daily outfit. And so little by little, as I got more fashion inspiration from other guys on Instagram or on YouTube, that kind of style became, I guess, my style that I show on Instagram. So it's very if you see me in real life, this is probably what I wear. You'll see me wear.
I noticed that and I do this too. My wife always kind of gets on me a little bit, but mostly solid colors, mostly all grays, blues, earth tones, they all match. So you can mix and match everything.
I love my grays. I love my whites and blacks. And to begin with, that's all. I love those neutral colors. And even to this day, I'm starting to kind of branch out to more colors. Just maybe like a little pop of color somewhere. Just to make it a little interesting, but that's also just kind of pushing my comfort zone little by little.
And let's be honest, for me, I feel like if I just wear a blue button down, I can wear it twice a week and no one's going to say anything because it's so nondescript. My black V-neck can get a couple miles out of it. But so is that kind of the advice you'd give guys? So if guys come up to you and say, hey Jeff, I'm trying to be a little more stylish, would your advice be like, okay, just go slowly. You don't have to go $4,000 in one trip to the mall, like just go piece by piece.
I remember back in high school, I bought like 2 or 3. I asked my dad, I never buy clothes. Can you come to the H&M store with me? And I bought like $300 worth of clothes. And I realized a couple like weeks or months later, a lot of the stuff, maybe I put it in the washing machine and dryer too long and didn't like it, or didn't fit very well after a couple times wearing it. Or, sometimes when you wear stuff in the store, it looks great in the store for some reason.
The mirrors and the lighting,
yeah. And then you come home, you put that on, you're like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, I'm not going to wear this.
And yeah, so to avoid that, I don't buy things in bulk anymore. And so it's one piece at a time, maybe one or two a month. And little by little, that starts to accumulate. If you keep it consistently, a couple pieces a month, and it'll start building up. And eventually you'll be like, you look at a photo, like inspiration photo on Instagram, and you're like, I want to wear that. But in the past, you might not have enough pieces, but as you build up your wardrobe, you're like, I have something similar to that. And you'll try it on and put something similar to the photo, and it looks very similar. And you're like, this is kind of a cool outfit. And maybe you could change up the shoes or maybe the sock color a little bit to kind of put your style into it. But being able to slowly build up your wardrobe and being able to mix and match the clothes you have is, I think, how you dress better, how you learn how to take advantage of what you have in your closet and, use it to the maximum.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Hey, you mind, can we do a breakdown on one of your videos? You mind walking us through one of them?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Let's see. Let's pick a good one. Not that any are bad, but let's pick one of your favorites here. Let me get the sound on. Hold on.
We could do that Patagonia upgrade one.
The Patagonia. Yeah, let's do that one because I think a lot of people can relate to that one. Let me do the sound here. Hold on. Have you found that you've been going more towards, H&M is great and all for the fast fashion, but like you said, you wash it a couple times, and then you might notice it degrading a lot faster than something from Patagonia or something from, what do you notice with brands? Are you steering more towards better quality stuff so it just lasts longer? Or?
Yeah, definitely. But after I started, buying a lot of clothes or being in the fashion space, it's the quality is it's worth paying extra for the quality.
Yeah.
It's hard to understand that until you buy nicer things. Me personally, when I was in my early 20s, mid 20s, I didn't have enough money to buy a lot of the nicer things.
Sure. Yeah.
$60, $50 t-shirts.
Yeah.
I didn't know, is it better? Why can't I just buy a little, like a cheaper hoodie? It looks the same. But when you actually buy it and wear it a couple times, you wash it and you dry it, the fabric feels very nice even after you wash it a couple times. And that's the noticeable difference I've seen, and it does last a lot longer. And as you build out your wardrobe or your closet, you don't wear things as often, and so you don't go through them very quickly.
Yeah. No, I know my sister used to work for Banana Republic when she first got out of college. And so I got the hookup. So I was getting, banana stuff all the time. And then she left that job, which was devastating. So then I was like, you know what? I'll just get Old Navy. It looks almost the same, it's basically the same house, right? But then you get it and you're like, what is this garbage?
Yeah.
It doesn't last. It doesn't fit as well. Yeah. It doesn't last as long. So spend a little more for the cardigan or the the pants. And
the fabric makes a huge difference.
Huge, yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's do one of your videos.
Okay.
Patagonia. Do you know which one your number one is? We'll do the Patagonia upgrade. But
actually, number one, that's not a trendy video, is the Patagonia video before this Patagonia upgrade.
Okay. Well, let's do this one, and then we'll scroll down a little.
Okay.
All right, so we'll play it, and then you can give us some commentary at the end.
Okay.
So this is from Jeff Yamazaki's Instagram. I'm scrolling about halfway down on my screen here, so you guys can get down to this one. It's called Patagonia Upgrade.
The Patagonia jacket reel I made got 1 million views, and I think part of the reason is because a lot of you guys out there wear this type of outfit on a daily basis, similar to me while I was in college. So I want to help you guys take this outfit to the next level without making you too uncomfortable, so let's check it out. To start off, let's replace the pocket tee with just a simple white tee. Next, let's ditch the Patagonia jacket and wear a collar jacket similar to this. Next, let's ditch the blue skinny jeans and try relaxed fit pants. This might be the hardest part, but trust me, these pants will make it look so much better. So as you can see, it's not too skinny nor too wide leg, and it's just a perfect medium. Next are these Converse high tops. There you have it.
Nice and easy. 45 seconds. What are we doing? About a minute?
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Yeah. Is this a style that you just kind of grew into, or did you start this from the beginning?
So this general outfit after this Patagonia outfit is pretty much how I started. Just very simple white tee. Kind of grew out of the skinny jeans, pants, and then put on a more stylish jacket. And it all has the same aspects of this first outfit, but it's just slightly more elevated. And once you get more comfortable wearing other types of pants, different types of jackets, you could really improve your style like tenfold if you just remove some of those items that you've grow accustomed to, or you just feel when you're comfortable, you just wear that. You pick out that jacket out your closet because you love it so much. But if you kind of push yourself to buy a jacket very similar to this Patagonia jacket, it just has a collar, it's black, it's very simple. And if you are able to buy that and wear it over just a simple white tee, it just looks more put together. I think more stylish in a way. And so being able to try new things outside of the Patagonia jacket, it's well worth it. And it's not as expensive, nor it's not hard to do. Maybe just need someone to kind of push you. Maybe if you have a girlfriend or a significant other, it really helps them to like go to the store with you to buy specific items.
Yeah. All right. How about one more fashion one? Then we'll talk about AAPI brands in a second.
Okay.
Which one do you like here?
If you could go up a little. The Tokyo fashion was interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Too.
Where is that? Did I just pass it?
A little bit down, right there.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so and this is before your trip. You did someone you were in, like you're releasing some Japan content right now, yeah?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this.
I get a lot of fashion inspiration from this Japanese magazine, and I found this outfit that I wanted to recreate, so let's try it out. First, I'm going to wear these pleated pants from ONS. Next, I'm going to wear this striped shirt from Common Market. Alright, I found this orange vest from Bespoke Post, so let's see how it goes. Alright, and I have this beautiful coat from Seven for All Mankind, which looks pretty similar to the photo, so let's put this on. Alright, next off we're going to wear these Johnson & Murphy slip-on loafers. I don't know if I like it or it's just out of my comfort zone, but I think it's always important to try new styles and see how it looks. What do you guys think?
Now that was from, I think you said before on another post that Popeye magazine is a magazine that you like to look at for inspiration.
Yep, that's a Japanese fashion magazine, sold in Japan only, I think, but you could try to find it on Amazon. But I try to get more inspiration from Japan these days, and that's like my favorite inspiration magazine that I usually read.
But you see a lot of brands, you kind of, there's mix over. You have Uniqlo, but you also have Lacoste and New Balance.
Right.
You mix it up. Yeah. So that's cool.
I think we'll probably talk about it later, but part of it is people in Japan are very fashionable. A lot of cities where you walk around to get to places is where the fashion is amazing. So like New York City, Paris, Tokyo. I love going to those cities because I get so much inspiration, and people try with their outfits. Yeah. Compared to LA, which is a very car society. Yeah. And so I realized like you only live outside maybe 10% of your life here in Los Angeles
or less.
Yeah.
Working from home.
Everyone goes for comfort versus dressing up nicely for everyday wear.
Yeah.
And so I've only realized recently it's like traveling to different countries has grown my fashion knowledge, and really piqued my interest as I travel more. to different places.
100%. We went to Paris and we were on the outskirts of town, and there was a bus we had to take, and it went past a French university. Mm-hmm. And so all these kids, all these, 18 to 20-year-old kids would get on the bus, and my wife and I would just sit there and just it's like a fashion show,
right.
Every day, 100 kids hop on the bus and walk past you, and you're like, man, this is I'm in jeans and a t-shirt 90% of the time in San Francisco. But yeah, I think you're right. It's those walking cultures and the effort the people put in their clothes is just a different level.
Yeah, definitely.
So, hey, I noticed that you also do some content around AAPI owned brands. And that actually really caught my eye because I almost hadn't heard of any of the brands that you mentioned on your posts. And are you finding that a lot from people that they're like, hey, thanks for introducing me to this brand, or the creators themselves are like, hey, thanks for shouting this out?
Yeah, definitely. Even for me, like before I started doing this, I didn't know a lot of these brands, and a lot of them are like mainstream or very popular. I just wasn't shown to it in mainstream media. And so when I did do my research, I found all these awesome brands, like starting off with men's fashion brands. I was like, whoa, there's so many cool made in LA, made in New York brands. And I was very surprised and really thankful that I started looking at these because they make amazing clothes. And yeah, so being able to shout out these brands has been really great in a way, because I always wanted to kind of give back to the community in this way.
And you've met some of them, yeah? You've got a chance to meet a bunch of these creators.
Yeah, I've been able to, even yesterday, I went to an event for Uprisers, which is owned by Michelle Hanabusa. She's also Japanese American, and she does a lot of community activism. And I met a bunch of API creators there yesterday, which was really cool. And it's a very small community, but it's awesome being able to connect with them and, one day be able to help, creators or brands through my platform.
Yeah, I saw her. That was really cool. Panda Express jacket. That
those are dope. The varsity jacket.
Super cool. Yeah. I was looking at that. I was like, I don't know if I can rock it. It's it's a little out there, right?
Right.
But it was very cool. Very cool.
Today we're going to change it up a bit and showcase one brand instead of the three. And I want to go more in depth, who made it, what kind of items they have, and actually make an outfit with those items. So the first brand is called Uprisers. Uprisers was founded by Michelle Hanabusa, who is a 4th generation Japanese Okinawan American. And she created Uprisers as a community-driven streetwear brand. And I want to show you some of the pieces, so let's go check it out. Alright, we're gonna start off with this amazing varsity jacket where they collab with Panda Express, which is one of my probably top 3 fast food restaurants. And it's just this beautiful patched jacket with a lot of detail on the sleeve, on the back, the front. And of course, Uprisers is a API owned and founded company, and so they do a great job incorporating Asian American heritage into their products. Last but not least is this vest with this yin and yang design in the back. So let's go try it on. I'm gonna start off the base with this unique.
So let's shout out a couple brands. You have a couple that we want to mention here, or should we do one of your videos? What do you think?
I could shout out a couple. One of them that I really wanted to shout out was ModRef and Common Market. ModRef is the women's side, and the Common Market is the guy side that I usually wear. When I was starting out, they somehow found me on Instagram, and I went to one of their sample sales, and they really they helped me out. Give me some clothes, and I'm not even sure how they found me. And I was very small, probably 4,000 or 5,000 followers. And I was like, whoa, it's probably one of the first gifting opportunities I had. And it's also an API owned brand. And the owner, Andrew, has helped me out, ever since I started. So I always wanted to shout those 2 brands out. And yeah, you could find them at the Row in downtown LA, or the Arts District. And yeah, the aesthetic really vibes with my style. If you go to their men's stuff, that it's very simple, basics. But yeah, they have some cool silhouettes. Slightly fashion forward, but still accessible to just your average guy.
No, very cool. Okay, so everyone, you can check out. I'm at modrefstores.com, and you can see more of their stuff. They have an Instagram as well, so we'll link that too. Very cool. And they're LA based?
Yes, LA based.
Nice. And I was surprised to find so many AAPI men doing fashion like brands. That's kind of cool.
It's definitely a lot harder to find compared to the women's section. They are only a handful, and that's why I'm starting, because I've been doing this API menswear, those like shout out reels.
Yeah.
I think I'm on like 6 or 7, so that's about like 20 brands, but it's starting to get harder and harder to find API owned men's fashion brands out there. So if there's anyone that creates men's fashion and it's API owned, let me know, and I could definitely shout them out.
Yeah. Now you're going to spend a little more, right? You're going to spend a little more on these. These are more boutique. And maybe not everyday pieces, but stuff that you might want to bring out for some special occasion or something.
But actually, this common market is actually pretty affordable. It's nothing like, it's like in the 60 to 100 range.
Okay.
So it's slightly above fast fashion, but not like ridiculously expensive.
But like you said, the quality is there and it's going to last you a little longer.
Yep.
So you're having fun with this? Is something that you can see yourself doing for a long time?
Yeah, definitely. It's been fun the last 2 years, and honestly, I'm so grateful, so fortunate to be able to do this full time. It's not a lot of people could do this, because I feel like I was fortunate enough to have some of the support of my family, to be like, I'm not scraping for money,
right?
I don't have to be able to be like, oh, I need X amount of dollars. Like, I had enough savings from my previous job to be able to kind of continue with this. And so if I could be able to sustain myself for the next year or two, I feel like I could do this for a pretty long term.
Yeah, no, it looks like a lot of fun, and the quality is there, the content's there. So yeah, everyone go check out Jeff. And hey, if you have a brand that you want Jeff to shout out, shoot him an email. Yeah, super fun content. Really fun to watch you growing as a creator and just seeing Asian faces, Asian brands, Asian clothes. It's really great. So thanks for all that you're doing, Jeff.
Thank you so much.
Sure. All right, you survived our tough questions. Are you ready for our lightning round?
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's go. So this is going to be kind of hard. Maybe it's easy. What are 3 pieces of clothing that all guys should have?
Oh, okay. My favorite shoe is the Converse high tops.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
I think that's the first shoe that I kind of got out of my comfort zone. And I think every guy should have at least one of these. You
go white or black? What are you going to do with the chucks?
The black.
What color? Yeah.
The black chuck, high top chucks. And then once you get more comfortable with that, get the white ones.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Item number 2.
Item number 2. This is probably a basic one, but a nicely fitted white tee. It's a lot harder than it sounds to get a nicely fitted white tee. But if you could find one that is fairly cheap and you could buy it all year round, man, keep buying those.
So you're going Uniqlo with that, or what are you doing?
Yeah, Uniqlo.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And number 1 piece.
The cardigan.
Yeah.
The cardigan is so underrated. If you just have a nice pair of pants and a white shirt, just put on the cardigan, man, you'll look really stylish very quickly.
Super easy. Yeah. What's your brand for cardigan?
A cardigan. I do have one from another API brand called The Good Fight.
Okay.
But it's a very high fashion brand, and that's my favorite. It's like there's a video on it that I kind of showcased it, but it's a baby blue cardigan. It's a little oversized. It's like a grandpa cardigan.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, they're API owned brand as well out of Los Angeles. So yeah,
but yeah, cardigan's pretty timeless, right? You could wear it into your 80s.
Yeah, pretty much.
So get a good one, guys. So you can wear it, when you are actually a grandpa, you can wear your grandpa cardigan. All right, very cool. Second question: if you could only wear one brand all year, like you're limited to this one brand, what brand would you go with?
Oh man, it's realistically speaking, it's definitely Uniqlo.
Yeah.
They are, man, they're the best, one of the best brands for everyday wear.
And really affordable, but good quality, and And I think for Asian bodies, I think it fits pretty well. You know,
It definitely does. Yeah, it is cut a little slimmer in the right areas. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Do you know of a fictional, or do you have a favorite fictional movie, show, or book that has a little bit of fashion in it?
So I did go to Paris last year, I think in August or September, and right after I was introduced to Emily in Paris, and man, I got hooked on that show. It's like my favorite guilty pleasure show, and the fashion is just incredible, and especially the guy named Gabriel, it's a character named Gabriel, which is one of the main characters, has a style that's very similar to what I wear. And so I love getting inspiration from that show here and there through Gabriel. And so, yeah, that's my favorite fictional movie or show.
Also the amazing Ashley Park in that one. So we love that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So season 2 just came out a month ago, or came out
a couple months
January.
ago. Yeah, in the beginning of this year, I believe.
Yeah. So definitely a good watch. Just not heavy theater, you know. You're not gonna stretch your brain out too much, but yeah, good fun. Do you have a favorite nonfiction show, book, or podcast or channel that you like to watch for fashion?
Yeah. So my favorite is YouTube. I think YouTube is a great resource, as many of you guys know, but I started watching Tim Dessaint's YouTube channel way back when, probably, I'm not even sure how long ago he started, but in the very beginning stages. And he had a style very similar to what I wanted, and being able to watch his videos, that's very easily digestible, very easy to follow. And he does a lot of the Uniqlo stuff. And so I love watching his channel. I do recommend watching him if you're just trying to start out. All
right. Tim Dessaint's. Good recommendation. All right. And we like to end every episode by asking our guests to name an infatuasian. An infatuasian is anyone in the Asian community that has inspired you, living or deceased. So Jeff Yamazaki, who is your infatuasian?
Yeah, so it's definitely my dad.
Yeah.
Your question said community, so he is someone that is very active in the Japanese American community, but more of the Japanese immigrants who came to the US, and so he works with a lot of that side of the community, and he does it with a lot of like volunteer work. And so I started when I was growing up, I started to see how much of his extra time he puts into this community side, and being able to connect with all these people in the community, you know, throughout the years has really shown me that you can make a big impact just by helping out little by little. And I've realized I want to do that with the Japanese community here in Los Angeles, through my platform, and also, in Little Tokyo, and do my little bit as much as I can.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the history of Asians in America is one where we needed each other, you know?
Right.
And, even though some of us have been here for hundreds of years or 170 years, I still think we need each other, we still need to lift each other up. And especially, can you imagine, like you said, your dad was 26. Can you imagine, like, if I just plopped you in Cambodia or plopped you in, Ukraine or something, like, to start a life in a language that you're not really fluent in, and with almost nothing. I don't know how much money your dad had, but, with not a lot in your pocket.
I can't imagine. It's just, because you got to start from zero, not knowing anyone. Like, for us, we had our, high school friends that we could always rely on, college friends, and
your language ability,
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Like, you and I could walk in and do a job interview and do fine, but it's just I marvel. It's a common story. I say this all the time. It's not an uncommon story, this immigration or even refugee stories, but it still amazes me that people do it.
Same here.
Sometimes, like, your sister was born here.
Yeah, all my siblings were born here.
Okay, yeah, but can you imagine if you had like 3 kids and you moved to another country? That's a whole nother level. But yeah, so props to Mr. Yamazaki. Shout out to all you folks who made it. You made it out here so that we can have a better life, and so
definitely,
hopefully we can give back a little too. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, man. I think that does it for our episode. Hey, thanks for coming on, Jeff.
Thank you so much for having it. It was a pleasure talking with you. Can't wait to hear the full episode later.
Yeah. We'll clean it up. We'll post it up. A couple weeks, I think. We're going to be into April when this one comes out. Okay. And so everyone out there, go follow Jeff at Jeff Yamazaki on Instagram and YouTube. Any other social medias we should drop for you? Are you on TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok is also the same at Jeff Yamazaki. And also if there's any theatrical agents, listening, I'm definitely looking for representation. And if anyone needs a Japanese American actor for a role, hit me up.
Let's do it. We got a couple actors coming up, so I'll ask them about representation.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm talking to this guy on Monday who's been doing it for like 30 years. So
wow,
he's like back to the day.
Yeah, that's OG. Yeah, that's amazing.
That's some staying power too, because I think I would have given up because it was some dry.
Oh, yeah. It was really, really bad, like in the 80s and 90s.
Nothing, yeah. Or you're just going to be the houseboy or, immigrant number 5 or something like that. Yeah, it was tough. But okay. So we'd love to see Jeff on the big screen or the streaming screen. So everyone out there, look for him, and agents, give him a call.
Thank you so much.
All right. And yes, as usual, you can always write to us at infatuasianpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us or message us on Instagram or Facebook at The Infatuasian Podcast. So everyone out there, thanks so much for listening to us. And on behalf of Jeff and myself, we hope that you're all happy, healthy, and safe out there. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening.